John. I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Ha! Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See, you can laugh all you want. But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. And his words, they keep ringing in my head. I can't concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication. Look, with all these fake Christians around, don't waste your time. There is no righteous one out there. Anyway, I'm off for lectures. Are you coming?
Today's video, I am going to be teaching you exactly how to assemble a scene. The scene is actually an extract for a Christian film that we are actually making for the Church of Pentecost here in the West African country of Ghana. This is actually an extended tutorial, so this is going to be devoid of the latest YouTube fast pace cut and fast edits. Calm down, guys. This is going to be a very slow, meticulous process because, of course, that is what editing is all about. And I'm going to be taking you through this process. And if you're a beginner editor and you can't sit through to watch tutorials like this, I'm sorry, this profession might not be for you. But if you're really serious about editing footage, then this might be long, but hey, this video might be worth it. So sit back, relax, let's go ahead and let me teach you how to put all of these things together. So all the ideas I am going to be sharing in this long tutorial would actually apply to any other editing software, provided it gives you all the tools to be able to drag, drop, and use multiple layers. So I have Adobe Premiere Pro already opened here. So let's go ahead and import our footage. So we're going to find where I've saved it. Let's go to Drive H, go to YouTube, and go to editing tutorial. And this is all the footage that I actually have. So let's go ahead and import everything except this. And let's wait for the importation to be done. So once it imports, these are all the footage. Let me press the Attila key to open this up and probably bring this in here. I want to be sure that this is actually really arranged correctly. All this particular footage you see here are all the various angles that were shot, and these are also the audio files. Let me press the Attila key to take us out of the full window. So over here, as you can see, we have audio files here, and all these audio files were actually recorded with my Zoom H1n recorder, and trust me, that recorder is really very great. And over here, all this footage you see here are also shot with my Panasonic G7. I'm actually the DP, director, and editor on this particular short film, and it was really a very great experience. And so I kind of know exactly what this scene entails and exactly all the kind of shots that we got. So first of all, if you want to put together something like this, you first need to go through all the footage, regardless of whether you were the person who shot it or maybe you were just contracted as an editor who actually wasn't on set, but maybe they shot and brought you the footage for you to edit. It's still a good practice to go through because at the end of the day, you need to make editing notes even before we start cutting. So we have this kind of wide shot, and we're going to be working with it. And over here, we have another shot of this guy from this particular angle, and we'll have the opportunity to work with that as well. And this is another kind of extreme close-up of the guy. We have opportunity to work with this, and also we have opportunity to work with this other angle as well. I mean, this is kind of like a medium close-up, and this is also another angle. So we kind of have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the files that we are going to be working with. So this first step we have to do is just to drag the first clip onto the timeline. By dropping it here, we've created a new sequence. I mean, that might differ depending on the kind of editing software that you use. So we have this here. Let's bring in the next footage onto the timeline, and as you can see, we already have the sequence here. So let's go ahead and name it. So maybe we can say first cut. That is our first cut. So as you can see over here, it has changed the name, and this is it. So we've already dragged this particular one inside here, and because it's already on the timeline, you can see that it's giving us this particular sign here. This one that is not on the timeline, as you can see, it doesn't have this kind of two boxes. So let's come to the next one. Now, it's important we keep this to another layer, and this will certainly make sense very soon. So probably let's drag even the audio tool to the next layer, and let's go to the next one, bring the next footage in here. And even with the next one, let's send this to the next layer. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm going to be doing this just by clicking. I don't want to use lots of shortcuts so that you guys might get confused at the end. I want to keep everything really simple and not use any form of shortcuts. Shortcuts are really very good, and as you become advanced in this game, using shortcuts will really help you cut a lot of corners and in a way get work done very quickly. So as you can see, we have this very interesting pattern here, and each one is on a different layer. So this one with this audio, this one with this audio, this one with this audio, and as it continues. So now what we are going to do is that we are now going to bring in all the audio files into this. So let's bring in the first audio file, bring it in, bring in the next audio file, and we'll bring in the next. So maybe a good practice here would be that we still keep all of these audio files on separate layers just to be safe. So we keep this on a separate layer, and we'll bring in the next audio file. We'll try and keep that also on a separate layer. Bring it here, drag down. We allow it one last one, and put the last one here too, and we create the new layer. So now that we have all of these things on the timeline, let me press the Attila key so that we see what we actually have here. So all we now need to do is just to select everything, right click here, and this is where the magic happens. We just click on synchronize and make sure that we have audio, make sure it's like channel 1, and we say okay, then we wait for it to do its thing. So it's done, and what it has now done is that when we go ahead and play these things, the scratch audio, that means the audio that the camera recorded and the audio coming from the recorder now are now synced together, because remember that we recorded the audio separately and recorded the video separately. So let's play this and hear.
I want to start going to church.
Yeah, so exactly, it means that this audio works. So now, right away, what we are going to do is that, let me press the Attila key again. We are going to be replacing or deleting all this existing audio and replacing everything with this, the properly recorded audio. So we press Alt, select the audio, delete. Press Alt, select the audio, delete. Press Alt, select the audio, delete. Same thing, press Alt, select audio, delete. Press Alt, select audio, delete. So now what we are going to do is that we are now going to put all of these things on one layer. So we send this up, send this also up. And how I'm doing this is just to click on, Alt, then press all the up keys to make sure that this goes up. I'm not using the mouse in this scenario because I want this to be as exact as possible. So same thing, we use the Alt key and press the down button on the keyboard to make sure that these things go down, and like that and like that. I tend to shrink my audio to be exactly the size of the video because I know that there is no way anything would have happened outside this audio. But you have to be careful. If you're not the one who shot this, sometimes it's good to leave these excesses in. But for me, I always have my sound man rolling before the video begins, so I know that there is no way the video would miss something very important. So we are done with the first step, and you must know that on a professional pipeline, this particular things are not done by the editor. This is actually the role of the assistant editor. They go ahead and do all this syncing, then now give what has been synced to the editor. So let's still proceed. These are all stuff that are supposed to be done by the assistant. So now let's select the two files. We right click, then we click on merge clips. Now, if you realize they are going to give the name of the file, and at the end they are going to say merge, right? So let's leave it like that and say okay. Now something interesting has happened. If we come back here and scroll, there we have it. The file we just merged is here. But right now, instead of the original file without a name, with just the name, now we have the file here with the name merge attached, so that we know that this is what we just merged. Let's go to the next file, right click, we do merge clips. It gives us a name, we say okay. So if we come back here again, this is the merge clip. So this is a raw clip. This is its merged version. Now when we merge the next one too, you realize that it's also going to come merge. We say okay. If we scroll up, this is the raw one. This is its merged version. Go to the next one, right click. We say merge clips. We say okay. And once we scroll up again, this is the raw. This is its merged version. We have the last one here, merge clips. It's merged, then we say okay. Then when we scroll up, we have it here. So per each of the files, we have its raw. That means that if you play this one, it has a scratch audio, but if you play this one, it now has our synced audio. It's important you do this so that you can edit them in the source window and pull them onto the timeline. So this is the first stage of getting your footage ready for editing. And like I said, this is actually done mostly on professional sets by the assistant editor. They are the ones that go through all this particular process. So now all we can do, we can go ahead and even delete all these things and start, or if we want, we can create a new sequence and start all over. So maybe in this case, for the purpose of this tutorial, I might just leave it so that I can have things organized. So let's go ahead and start playing the first shot that we have here. And you need to start, by drawing a plan. First of all, you need to play all the footage through and already know exactly what you have and when, at which parts you want to be doing cutting or joining. So let's go ahead and play our first clip. This one, I want to edit it using, the very normal standard. We are going to start with a wide shot, and this is the widest shot that we have of the scene, so that your audience can kind of already have an idea of where this whole scene is taking place, where these people are seated. Then what I'm thinking is, after that, I'll cut into this guy's face. Then when he begins to speak, I'll cut into his face. I mean, this is just a normal dialogue scene, and so I want to just follow the normal conventions. So maybe probably when he talks, we can actually have this guy's reaction going on. So you see, just by looking at the scene, I'm already drawing the plan, and it's very important for you to also read the script as well, because at the end of the day, you are editing according to what you have been told to do. So let's go ahead and check the first part right after action. Okay, so I'm first of all going to come here and set an in point, because this is exactly where the scene starts. So you can also press I on your keyboard to set an in point, or you can actually use this to set your in point.
John.
Okay, so right where he says John, I want to now cut to the close-up shot that we have of him. I mean, the extreme close-up. So let's start a new sequence. Like I said, for the purposes of this tutorial, I want to keep things organized. So let's start a new sequence altogether. And here we are going to call it probably master edits. Okay. So that's the sequence that we do have here. The other thing I like to do is that because the audios are usually recorded at a very safe level, so once I'm editing, I need to be able to hear this. So I want it to be a little bit loud. So what I do is that I go to my editing workspace, go to audio, and just go ahead as it opens. Instead of audio clip mixer, please be very careful. There's a difference between audio track mixer and audio clip mixer. If you make a mistake and kind of like do this on the clip session, I mean, it's going to be very chaotic at the end. So let's make sure that we are rather on audio track mixer. So on audio track mixer, I'm just coming here to raise up the volume of the A1. Sometimes I just like to take it to somewhere around 7. Take here to 7, and maybe the general mix, I just raise it up a little. Now, when I'm done or when I'm about to start working on the audio, I just come back and take all these things to 0, 0, 0, 0. Because this is way louder, but what it does is that now we can actually hear exactly what we are editing. So I want to play. Right, so he says John. Okay, so this is it. Now let's go back to our editing window. Go back to editing, and it brings it back. So John, then John responds, So before he says the other line, I want to become born again. So let's see if that works.
John. I want to become a born-again Christian.
Okay, so this was very good. So let's see how he delivers that same line in this kind of extreme close-up shot.
I want to become a born-again Christian.
Okay.
I want to become a born-again Christian.
Right. So from this angle, as you can see, he went slightly out of focus.
I want to become a born-again Christian.
Right. So over here, I kind of like the performance in terms of the line over here better than the other shot.
John.
Okay. So I bet I'm going to use this. Okay, so right after John, because remember here, he already says John.
John.
And the guy says, Okay.
I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Okay, so just before the guy starts to laugh, this is exactly the portion that we just need from this guy. So once we have this in point and out point, we drag this, and now we put it on the timeline. So let's listen to it and see. I'm suspecting we might have a duplication of this guy's reaction, but let's see. Let's come back here and play it again and see what we have now.
John.
It flows.
I want to become a born-again Christian.
Okay.
John. I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Okay, so that's very good for the first step. Now let's see which shot we are going to use for the guy's response. So his first response, of course, it's the laughter. So let's see.
John. I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Okay, I want to start going to church. Let's have an in point here and see what we have. Okay, so I want to start going to church. We end it here. Start.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so let's see.
Ha! Born again. You? Bernard? Interesting.
Okay, so we're going to be having some cutaways in between. So let me come back to this.
Yes.
Let's see where we'll end this.
Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so I feel like after he says the too much thing, the double standards are just too much, we go back to the other wide shot. So let's see how it flows in here.
I want to start going to church.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
So at this point, I really want to come back to this particular shot. So let's see where we can pick it from.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Oh, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful.
Okay, where did we end here?
The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so the double standards are just too much.
That's why I don't go to church anymore. The double standards are just too much.
Once he finishes the line over here, he drops his hand, and rather over here, he has his hand on the desk. So this is actually going to be a very challenging one. But later on, I feel like we can use some cutaways to cover it up. So now that we are just doing a first rough cut, let's not waste time to try to solve this continuity issue here. So let's go ahead.
Ha! Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See.
Okay, so once he says C, I want us to be able to cut back to his face at this particular point in time. So let's see what we have here before we go there.
Are just too much. Ha! Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See.
Okay, so I think that works well. So immediately he says C. I feel like at this point we can cut back to him once again.
You, Bernard. Interesting.
See.
Okay, so he has said C again, so continue.
You can laugh all you want. But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day.
Okay,
His words, they keep ringing in my head. I couldn't concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty. And his words, they keep ringing in my head.
okay. So this is it.
See,
Okay,
you can laugh all you want.
okay.
See, you see, you can laugh all you want. See, you can laugh all you want.
Okay.
But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. And his words, they keep ringing in my head.
Okay, so just when he says they keep ringing in his head, I want us to cut back to the other longer file.
You can laugh all you want, but I am serious. I met a pastor the other day,
Oops.
and his words, they keep ringing in my head.
Okay.
They keep ringing in my head. I can't concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
Okay.
I can't concentrate on anything.
Okay, I can't concentrate on anything. I feel like from this point, let's cut back into his face again. Then when he's about to do the touching, we cut back to this wide shot again. So let's listen. Let's see how it flows.
In my head. I can't concentrate on anything.
Okay, so I can't concentrate on anything. So we go. So for the first time, we can use this extreme close-up since at this point in time, the dialogue is getting, very kind of intense. So I feel like we should get closer at this point.
But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. His words, they kept ringing in my head.
Okay, where do we end here?
I can't concentrate on anything. Ringing in my head. I can't concentrate on anything. I can't even concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
Okay, so just when he raises his hand, and then we cut to the wide shot again.
It's as if...
Okay, so we're going to kind of run into another continuity issue here. As you can see on, this particular shot, you realize that he's kind of looking a little bit to this guy's place, and then this one he's looking a little bit away, and these are some of the little continuity issues that always you run into with editing generic scenes like this.
It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
Then the hand comes. So with the hand, I'll suggest that we go back to the other wide shot so that we can see it.
It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
Okay, so the hand was just slightly off this way, so to get it.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication.
Okay, so the you are sick will get in.
Me for
Let's
duty.
see. So let's take it frame by frame to see how the hand goes. So the hand comes almost okay. Right. So with this particular continuity mistake, it can be forgiven because we are cutting on an action. The hand is coming in. So, or if you want, alternatively, we can let the hand land. Let's see the hand landing the position of the head. Okay, it's still the same thing. So I suggest let's just undo, go back to the initial one and see how it works.
See, man, you are sick.
Okay, so see, man, you are sick. I don't know what he says after that. So let's see.
His words. See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication.
Okay, the camera moved over here, so
with all these fake reasons around,
we can use it. Let's see how this. Maybe this might be the good opportunity to use this particular shot. We haven't used it yet.
Serious.
Okay, so I want to see apart from where he touches him.
see, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication.
Okay, so I think with this one, let's go back to the other side, and that is it for editing, guys. Sometimes, it's just about going back and forth until you have the right thing. So as we can see with this one, my initial plan didn't really work because, as you can see, the head directions are different. But with this particular shot, you realize that his head is going this way and this one is also going. So if we use this one rather, it's going to blend in better than using here. So hey, let's swallow the humble pie. Let's delete this, and now we use this one instead. So we are supposed to track the hand just halfway so that it still matches with the initial one.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication.
Okay, so let's bring this in and see how it flows.
Calling me for duty.
Right, so I think that actually flows better because the continuity is actually correct.
For duty.
See, man,
Yeah.
you are sick. Try and get some medication.
Okay, so let's take this forward and actually see how this goes.
Look, with all these fake questions around, don't waste your time. There was no righteous one out there. Anyway, I'm off for like.
Okay, so just when he drags the bag out, I think we can go back to the medium wide shot.
There was no righteous one out there. Anyway.
Okay, so the performance here was better because he added this at the end, and it kind of made the performance really good.
No righteous one out there.
So no righteous one out there. It says
Anyway, I'm off for lectures.
Okay.
Are you coming?
Okay, I feel like at this point we can cut to his face. So let's drag this in. Okay. So this now suppose that means we are taking off all this particular portion where he finishes and drags his bag out.
Look, with all these fake questions around, don't waste your time. There was no righteous one out there.
Okay.
One out there. Anyway.
And the continuity really works
I'm
really
off for
great
lectures.
over there.
Are you coming?
Okay, so now let's see the one that has a really good ending. Because I shot this, I made an attempt to move up here, and I just remember that, we're using a boom, and so it wasn't really a very good ending for me. But there was a point where I tried to do, like a pan, because the next scene, we are kind of going to link it with motion. And that is the other thing. Sometimes you need to be editing with the next scene in mind so that it kind of makes sense in the whole body of the film. Do not edit in isolation. But in this scenario, let's see how it goes. Right. So this can be a nice way to end the scene. So the failed attempt is here. Okay, then it resets. So let's set an in point here. And the camera goes. And it ends. All right. So this is going to be the ending, but I know that there might be some other ones. So let's check the other shots too to see if, the pan at the end there was rather good. Interesting. I kind of like this. Okay, but I hope it matches here. No, it's not going to work. Ah, goodness. Okay. Because he has his hands, on the lover's bench over here, and over here he doesn't have it. So we are stuck with this for the sake of continuity. Wow. Because even with this, it's not really complete, because you realize that he has one hand here, but over here he has both hands. So maybe, I don't know, maybe when we are remastering the edits, we'll see about that. Maybe I can let's try this and see. Okay, so at what point does he put his hand there? Okay, if not, yeah, that's the only way, that's the only solution now. So we cut in here instead of letting it get to this point, right? Hey, hooray. Sometimes it's just about thinking about how to, you know, get some of these things done. So let's see if we can now make use of this one. Right. So I presume this might work. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We have our first rough assembly cut. In fact, this is really a rough assembly cut before we now come and start polishing the whole editing up. We haven't kept reaction shots yet. This is just the raw thing. We haven't done, you know, any form of LNJ cuts yet. And trust me, by doing all those things, you just elevate or take the whole scene to the next level. So, but first of all, let's go ahead now and watch it and see what we have so far in terms of our rough cut. Let me press the Attila key.
John. I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Ha! Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See, you can laugh all you want, but I am serious. I met a pastor the other day, and his words, they keep ringing in my head. And I can't concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication. Look, with all these fake Christians around, don't waste your time. There is no righteous one out there. Anyway, I'm off for lectures. Are you coming?
All right, so that is it for our assembly cut. This is the first part of the video. So trust me, I know this is really long, but like I said at the beginning of the video, at the end of the day, all this effort is really worth it. Trust me, we are editing this together live, and after this tutorial, I'm going to be done with this edit, unless of course maybe later on the producers ask me to change something. And so if anybody wanted to see, or maybe if they ask me if they want to see the editing process, I'll just recommend them to watch this video, because we are editing this live. You and I over there are discovering, because as you can see, I'm trying things that don't work. We change, we go this way, and we come back. And so basically that is how the whole editing process looks like, because I just wanted you guys to have like that kind of first-hand experience to see exactly what goes into this. Sometimes YouTube videos are always so polished. We only show you the successes, but this one, I really want you guys to see the failures and truly understand that sometimes these things are just kind of, they go through lots of iterations back and forth until you actually have something that actually works. So, hey, let's go ahead for the second part of the video. We are now going to try to start mastering the edits and making it flow a little bit better. So welcome to the second part of the video where we are going to be mastering the edits. So let's go through and now see all the various things that we can do to make this look better. All right.
John.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so his head is not so turned very well in this other shot. So I'm thinking maybe let's see if we get a close-up of John before he does the
All you.
see after action what happens to this shot.
Action.
John. I want to become a born again. I want to become a born again Christian.
Okay, so we'll need the reaction after he speaks.
John.
Okay, so let's put this on top and see.
I want to become a born again Christian. John.
Okay, so we're getting him to say the
John.
Okay, so we trim this a little bit in.
John.
Okay, so from here, I want us to go back to the guy's face.
I want to become a born again
Okay, so this has to still go ahead.
Christian.
Okay, so here he raises the head. We can have the feeling of the head movement from here. So if we want, we can align exactly that same movement here.
A born again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Okay, so let's create an L cut here.
I want to start going to church.
Okay.
I want to start going to church.
Okay, we can have a feeling of the head going down a little over here. So let's make sure the head does not go down when we enter this particular shot. Right, so that it matches. Because you see the hair, the cap is actually up. So let's do this.
To church.
Okay, so I feel like immediately he begins to laugh. We need to see the guy's reaction to the laughter. So let's come to this image. Okay, so I can already tell that this shot might not work so much. So let's see here.
I want to become a born again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Okay, so from here.
Who?
Okay, so let's see if this would work.
Who? You?
Okay, so let's see.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides you, Bernard? You can't be serious.
Okay, so just when he says you, Bernard, you can be serious, I think we can go back to Bernard.
Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. You can't be serious.
Okay.
You can't be serious. Well, besides,
Okay, so you can't be
you can't be
serious.
serious.
Okay, so just at the edge over there.
Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not.
So maybe we can still put this back a little.
You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church.
Okay, so we can have a very long L cut over here.
The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so we can still go a little.
Double standards are just too much. The double standards are just.
Okay, so I think we should stick to the
Double
initial one.
standards are just too much. Double standards are just too much. Double standards are just too much.
Okay, so there's an issue here. If you look very closely, we have the guy's hand here whilst he was talking in this particular shot. And in this particular shot, you have both of his hands out already. So maybe the way we can do this is to cut into this guy's face. That is, if we have a shot that he has both of his hands over here, so that when we come back to this shot, it links well. So let's see if it's so.
That is why I don't even go to church.
Okay, let's see here.
Just too much. I just too. That's truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so what the only thing that helps us here is the fact that this is actually the hands are in motion, and so this is actually a very forgivable
Double
mistake.
standards are just too much.
Okay, but let's still see if we can actually find a way of solving this. Okay.
I want to.
Most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go. Christians nowadays are not even truthful.
Okay, so I have an idea. Let's put this down. If we don't get anything, I'll show you exactly what I was thinking about. Okay, so let's go.
That is why I don't even go to church.
Okay, so let's try with the
There was no
extreme close-up shot and see.
standards are just. You cannot much. That's why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so
Are just too much.
maybe we need to abort. Earlier on, I was thinking that maybe we could have this shot here. Then, since we have him saying too much, his mouth here does not really correspond. So I was thinking maybe we could actually do a little bit of zoom in to get rid of him. Then maybe refit this something like this, and let's see.
The double standards are just too much.
So that way, when the hands drop, it makes sense.
Church. The double standards are just too much. Too much. Too much.
Right. So that is what I'm
The
thinking.
double standards go to church. The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so over here we have him slightly appearing. So let's still try and see if we can still reframe this. Oops, we are at the end. Maybe something like 115. Usually I never scale anything above 120. 120 is like the extreme case. All right, so let's see.
Go to church.
Okay, the headroom is kind of a little bit off. Okay, something like this.
Don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
And that works. So the other alternative I was thinking about is for us to cut to this extreme close-up.
That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Go to church.
So let's try that idea and see how it also looks like.
Church. The double standards are just too much. Born again. Born. Born again. Born again. Born again. That's too much.
Okay.
The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so we have to readjust this a little.
Too much.
So that his head turn. Still pull this back again a little and see.
Born again. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Born again.
Okay, so I don't really know at this point which one works better. So now let's have a look at the two and see which one works.
That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Born again.
Okay, the only thing here is that I see his hand still on the chair, but over here he already has it out. I mean, it's a very minute detail, but
I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Born.
okay. So now let's see how the other one looks like. Let me turn this one off. Let's look at the one that we did with the scaling. Let's see how it also looks like now.
That is why I don't even go to church. That's why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Born again.
I don't know which one works better. Frankly, I don't really know. So maybe let me just get rid of the top one because it looks like all of them works one way or the other. It just depends on perspectives. With these kind of things, they're not right or wrong. You just need to go with your instincts and make sure that, you know, the one that best tells the story or best shows the emotion, what you want, that is what you go with.
Don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See,
Okay, so once he start laughing, we can go to the guy.
see, you can laugh all you want. See, you can laugh all you want. See, see, you can laugh all you want. But I am serious. See, you can laugh all you want.
So immediately he says, you can laugh all you want. I think let's see the guy's
The
reaction.
double standards are just too much.
All you want. But I am serious.
Oh.
See, you can love all you want. But I am serious. All you want. But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. I met a pastor the other day.
Okay, so immediately he says, I met a pastor the other day. We need to see this guy's reaction.
I met a pastor the other day. I met a pastor the other day.
Okay.
The other day.
Okay, so let's put this here, pull this back.
I met a pastor the other day. And his words. I met a pastor the other day. And his words. They keep ringing.
Okay, so when he says again his words, we need to see this guy's reaction.
Words. His words.
Okay.
His words. His words. His words. They keep ringing in. They keep ringing in my head. Ringing in my head. I can't concentrate on.
Okay, so we go the other way rather.
I can't concentrate on anything.
Okay, so we have some continuity issues over there too, so we need to address.
They keep ringing in my head.
Okay, so they keep ringing in my head, and we see that this guy, he has already folded his arms here, but over here he's trying to. So maybe it's safe for us to get back to this shot before we get back to the wide.
They keep ringing in my head.
Okay, so we do that.
I can't concentrate on any. I can't concentrate on any. I can't concentrate.
Okay.
I can't concentrate on any. I can't concentrate on any. I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate on anything.
All right, so put this back a little.
I can't concentrate on anything.
Okay, so I think at this point we need to cut back again to this guy just for a moment.
Anything. It's as if.
Okay. Sorry, we didn't have an out point.
Anything. It's as if. Thing. It's as if.
Okay.
It's as if. It's as if someone is calling me for duty. Calling me for duty.
Okay.
It's as if someone is calling me for duty. Calling me for duty.
Okay, so it looks like here he had already kept quiet just a little. So yeah, so I think this way rather works.
Calling me for duty.
See, man, you are sick.
Okay, so when he says, man, you are sick, I think we need to see the guy's reaction.
Met a pastor the other. They kept ringing in my head. Anything.
See, man, you are sick.
Okay, the problem we have here is he's holding onto his shoulder, and here he isn't. So that presents another challenge to us here. So we need to see how we'd go about it rather.
You are sick. Try and get some medication. Man. Try and get some medication.
Oh, his hand was on him throughout the whole time. Let's check for another take and see if we can salvage something from there instead.
I couldn't concentrate on calling me for.
See, man, you are sick.
Again, the hand is on him. So our options are pretty much very, very limited at this point.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication. Look, with all these fake questions around.
Okay, so now let's see whether from this point.
Okay. Look, with all these fake questions around.
Okay.
Get some medications. Okay. Look, with all these fake questions.
Okay.
All these fake. Look.
Okay.
With all these fake questions around, don't waste your time.
Okay.
Look, with all these fake questions around, don't waste your time. There was no righteous
All right.
one out there. One out there. Righteous one out there. Righteous one out there. Righteous one out there.
Okay, so I want the out there over here to match up.
One out there.
So may I have to pull this a little bit in.
No righteous one out there.
Okay.
Righteous one out there.
Okay. So let's see how it blends together over here.
Look, with all these fake questions around, don't waste your time. There was no righteous one out there.
Right. That works. That really works.
Anyway, I'm off for lectures. Are you coming?
Okay, so I know there was some camera issues over here. Okay, so yes, take, if we can add just a little more. Okay, just a little more again. Okay, just a little more. I just hope this is not going to be so bad. Okay, so he's supposed to be lean already, so we can't have the leaning process. So that means we have to pick it up from. Okay, the leaning is still there just a little, so we need to take that off. Save again. And it goes through like that. Okay, so this is kind of like the whole thing coming together. So now let's have a final look again to be sure that at least this is going to pass as our main cut. Unless, of course, we want to revisit it again later on to make some changes. So let me press the Attila key, and now this is what we have.
John. I want to become a born-again Christian. I want to start going to church.
Who? You? Bernard? You can't be serious. Well, besides, most Christians nowadays are not even truthful. That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much.
Was that a system glitch? Sorry. Let's take it just a bit back. Okay.
That is why I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too.
What's happening?
The double standards are just too much.
Okay, so that's supposed to be a glitch.
I don't even go to church. The double standards are just too much. Ha! Born again. You, Bernard. Interesting.
See, you can laugh all you want. But I am serious. I met a pastor the other day. And his words, they keep ringing in my head. And I can't concentrate on anything. It's as if someone is calling me for duty.
See, man, you are sick. Try and get some medication. Look, with all these fake Christians around, don't waste your time. There is no righteous one out there. Anyway, I'm off for lectures. Are you coming?
All right, folks, there you have it. I know this is like one of the longest tutorials in the world. This is one of the most longest videos I've ever made. I'm almost kind of like being tempted to post this like a series. Part 1 and 2. I don't know whether at the time of making this video, or let's say at the time you are watching this, I don't know whether you watched it in a 2-part series or you actually watched it all as one video. But there you have it, and you know what to do. Please make sure to click on the like button, because this goes a long way in helping other people discover this channel right here on YouTube. Maybe at the end, I might consider sharing the full link to the particular Christian film that this is actually an extract from. So if you see my face for the very first time, welcome to the Africa Amaze channel. Over here, I do talk about cinematography, photography, editing, and all its related branches. If all this sounds interesting, we also watch movies and talk about other movie industries all across the globe. So I do much appreciate it. If you do click on the subscribe button, please make sure to do turn on the post notification bell so you are notified anytime I drop awesome content like this right here from the continent of Africa. And I have lots of other tutorials on shooting. As you can see, this is shot in a very basic structure, nothing really complex, but I also do have lots of shooting tutorials over here. If you want to also learn about shooting, I have lots of videos lined up here for you. Click here to watch those videos, and of course, I will definitely catch you in my next one. Until next time, as always, guys, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out. I started recording this video now. It's 5-6 a.m. That means I didn't sleep the whole night. I've been recording since 1 a.m. Crazy, guys.